Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of CNB. I'm Siddharth and it's a very unusual setting where I'm coming to you from. Unusual because we don't usually take you indoors, and this is, well, partly indoors. It's special because I'm on set with Moto Man. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, you've got to go on to Google and find out, or onto YouTube. It might be that much easier for you. And it's special to be here because we are just outside of the LA Auto Show, and a lot of the action there has started to pick up with context to our market in the past few years. So yes, we do get to see things there that we are definitely interested in. And so let me not take any longer and take you across to the actual show to bring you the big highlights.
The annual Los Angeles Auto Show has enough and more to get our juices flowing. And we jump in true all-American fashion with the Ford Mustang Mach-E.
Now, since the car came out just a few days ago, it's been polarizing opinions every which way, because for some people, a Mustang can't be an SUV. For some people, it can't be an electric car. And for some, they're embracing it as the modern, new age, forward-looking Mustang. So, which one is it for you?
The Mustang name on an electric SUV is something most didn't see coming. But with 4 variants each with many trims and the range going all the way to 300 miles or just under 500 kilometers, it's a serious Tesla attack from Ford. The Kia Seltos got its US launch. The US version gets a 10-year warranty and some drivetrain options that we don't in India.
Now, we always knew that the US will also get the Seltos, and this is the North American debut for the new Kia Seltos. Interestingly enough, they get all-wheel drive and they also get the 1.6-litre GDI engine. Yes, we don't get either of those, but it's this that interests me a little bit more. It's just a design study at this point, no launch plans with this. Something called X-Line. They're showing this on the Seltos just to sort of gauge reaction. And there's 2 kinds, if you will. There's this, which is called trailer tech, because you can see it's extremely off-road. It's got the winch, it's got the fog lights up front, and it is for those who really want to go somewhere and don't necessarily want to rely on a track or even a road. But then you've also got another version of that. Now, like I said, it's called X-Line, and the Kia North America CEO was very clear about this is not a market launch, but clearly if they're showing these here, try and think of some of the trims, some of the options that the Seltos could get in the future. And so there you see, that's a lot more urban. In fact, it is called the urban concept. And wheels like that, now that's really going to get your attention. But you know, it's kind of rugged, but at the same time, very much an on-tarmac variant. Just gives it a completely different attitude and goes so much beyond just, you know, a tech line or a GT line that we currently have in our market. I'll tell you what, I'm still stuck on the fact that they have the all-wheel drive option and that more powerful petrol.
We also liked the yellow color the Seltos is being launched in, though the US spec car will begin delivery only around March or April 2020. Sister company Hyundai also had an SUV on its stand that got a lot of attention.
The Vision T concept from Hyundai previews what's undoubtedly the next generation of the Tucson SUV. This is a plug-in hybrid that's been shown here, and no doubt the new Tucson will get that too. But for me, the more important direction that you get from this is Hyundai's new design language. Well, it's what you would call an update on sensuous sportiness, call it 2.0 maybe. A lot more angular, a lot more cuts, and honestly, when you look at this particular concept from the side, you kind of get a sense of the Lamborghini Urus.
Hyundai also showed the updated Ioniq family that was presented by Hollywood actor Josh Duhamel. And the N division showed off its new high-performance mid-engine sports car, the RM19 concept. Group brand Genesis showed off the massively updated G90 flagship sedan with a new face and enhanced luxury. Staying with the broader SUV theme, over at JLR, the celebration was for the return of its Defender.
It's only when you come and stand next to it that you truly realize just how tall and big the new Defender is. Now, the new car is one of the most capable from Land Rover yet. And that capability, by the way, doesn't just focus on off-roading as you might think, but also on-road dynamics. That's been a big focus area. And the car had its North American debut. The Defender brand returns here to America after 22 years. And that was a special ceremony off-site.
It was in downtown LA that many celebrities and special guests, including 400 classic Defender owners, witnessed the US debut of the new car. The highlight of the evening was Defender owner and Grammy Award winner John Mayer, who spoke and sang to celebrate his love for the Defender. To be available in the spring of 2020, the Defender will come to the US in its 90 and 110 avatars. India will also get both, but a few months later. JLR is also showing off its SV division's products, and its new boss says that there is still a lot of scope for growth for both Jaguar and Land Rover's special vehicles portfolio.
We're not singularly focused of just performance. This beautiful car behind us, that is very much a luxury interpretation. So we don't limit or constrain ourselves with just performance. We like to think we work on the core attribute of what we start with. So something like a long wheelbase Range Rover, which is very much a luxurious, sophisticated product. We will strive not to put a performance halo on that necessarily, but do a super luxurious, sophisticated rendition of that. So if you take that kind of thinking to electrification, then certainly there's a lot of electrification themes coming out in all of our products. And just like every other performance group in the world, we're looking at electrification on how do we deal with it? How can we make electrification into truly a compelling proposition?
It is No Time to Die, and so that is the car that was used in the actual movie, and that's why it's kind of bashed in back here. And that's also why it has this really nice sprayed pattern of mud all over it. All right, plenty more to show you still. Keep watching.
Let's stay with SUVs, and Audi unveiled the e-tron Sportback, its second electric car model. The 350 horsepower SUV has similar specs to its sibling, the e-tron, and will see a maximum range of about 450 kilometers for the top version. At the other end of the spectrum are the AMG SUVs over at Mercedes-Benz.
It is the world debut of the Mercedes-AMG GLS 63 and this, the GLE 63S. Now, I can tell you that there's going to be lots of anticipation about driving this one because it takes the SUV again into the sports car sort of territory. We're talking 0 to 100 in under 4 seconds with 600 horses residing under that hood there. Well, yeah, can't wait for it. Though I know many of you are still just waiting for the new generation GLE to get to us. Well, the good news is the bookings have begun and the car should be with us in just days now, not months.
The LA Auto Show is also where the larger GLS gets its AMG treatment. Like we said, both cars will be fast if the previous generations are anything to go by. SUVs dominate the landscape here at the show in the LA Convention Center, but BMW has decided to focus on some new sedans. And the one getting our attention is this.
Well, first we had the M2, plenty of fun. Then we got the M2 competition, and I can tell you I had a blast with that. And now there is the M2 CS, which really doesn't belong in here. It needs to be out there on the tarmac, and I can't wait to get behind the wheel. But in an Indian context, what becomes more relevant is a car that's on the other end of this, which is the new 2 Series Grand Coupe.
The BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe is now the smallest and most compact sedan with a 4-door layout in the BMW world. The car is based on BMW's front-wheel drive platform and does not share much with the M2 layout. It goes up against the Mercedes-Benz CLA and the Audi A3, and yes, it will come to India in the second half of 2020.
Doesn't get more all-American than the Corvette. That is the new one, and it's of course very unfortunate that we have no presence of GM anymore in India. So I don't want to end on a dour note, but I do want to tell you that you have to send in your feedback on what we've showed you here from LA. Some interesting stuff, some significant stuff, and also some things that point into the future. So react to all of that. Please wear your seatbelts wherever you're going, and please join me next week. Bye-bye.